and be like, "Hello, YouTube. Tis Raise Hail Praise Dale podcast coming to you again." Kind of sucks we're getting to the end of the season.
Oh, somebody's got a lot of energy tonight.
We gotta make up for the lack of energy you got going on at the moment. Gotta hype you up.
You got a Red Bull?
No, but I got Debbie. Anywho, I'm Voodoo.
I'm JT Dallas.
Welcome to the Raise Hail Praise Dale podcast.
Yes,
what is this, Las Vegas edition?
Viva Las Vegas.
Yeah. Without further ado, let's not waste any time. Let's go ahead and hit that intro and get right on into this thing. All right. So as we mentioned, it is Las Vegas. Well,
Yes,
was
sir.
Las Vegas. Now we're getting to Homestead. There's only 3 weeks left of the season, dude.
I know. I'm not looking forward for it to end.
It's gonna be interesting to cover some stuff while we're off of the season.
Right.
I mean, we're gonna have stuff we can cover, but it's not gonna take up every doggone week. So got to find some filler stuff.
This is being stupid.
We'll figure it out though, especially if we get some more chatters in here, like our VIP Braden.
Yes, sir. He said he was back, so let's see if he
Hopefully
comes back.
make it in here.
Actually,
But we shall jump straight into the post-race breakdown.
Hit it, homie.
Already did. Forget I got the shortcut keys set up. Hopefully it's not going to crash the stream again though.
Well, today I'm using my iPad instead of my phone for the notes, so I'm trying to get everything fixed. So sorry if I just didn't really
Not paying attention to me. We do have one penalty from the Charlotte Roval, obviously. When you lose a tire, some crap goes down.
Right. For the number 3 of Austin Dillon. Crew members Joshua Thomas and Nicholas Covey have been suspended for 2 races after oh my lord, I can't read. Improperly securing a wheel.
Yeah. Obviously that was from the Roval, so Las Vegas was the first race that they were suspended from, so they will also miss Homestead.
Yes, sir. But so are you ready to talk about the oh my lord, what is wrong with me tonight? And Better Health 302, which is Xfinity. There at Las Vegas. The purse was $1,400,000 or $409,745. It's a whole lot of money.
Hold on, got the wrong results pulled up here. Still the Roval. Look at that, I'm still a human. Haven't changed that any. Give me 2 seconds and I'll have it up there. There we go. Now it's right.
There we go. So for your poll, we had Brandon Jones in the number 9, and following behind him is Cole Custer in the 00. That's just starting.
Yeah, nobody failed to qualify because it's playoff time, so really not gonna see extra drivers coming to the track. Did have a couple of guys go to the rear. Mr. Kyle Weatherman in the 91 had some unapproved adjustments, so he went to the back. And Sheldon Creed in the 18 decided to not use the original engine and put a new engine in there, so he also had to go to the back.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Stage 1 went to the 00 of future Cup racer Cole Custer. And then stage 2 went to somebody's name you'll hear a little bit, Justin Allgaier.
Yes, sir. So, do you want to take the top 5 or you want me to take it?
I'll take the top 5. That's fine.
Go for it.
So your winner chicken dinner, and moving on to the next round of the playoffs will be Mr. AJ Allmendinger in the 16. He will be racing for the championship. And then your new driver in the 28, Mr. Ryan Sieg, came in second. So pretty good race for him. I figured
I thought he was going to
maybe a lap or two more and you would have had him.
Definitely. That's what I was going to say. If Ryan Sieg had just a lap, maybe a lap and a half, I think it would have been Sieg's race.
Yeah. Mentioned him earlier for winning a stage, but Mr. Justin Allgaier in the 7 finished in 3rd, and then rounding out your top 5 would be the 81 of Chandler Smith and the 48 of Parker Kligerman.
Kligerman.
One of the 48s that just barely missed the playoffs.
Yes, sir. So, starting in 6th position, you had the number 2 of Jesse Love, followed by the 98 of Riley Herbst, 00 of Cole Custer, 18 of Sheldon Creed, and the top 10 driver is the 21 of Austin Hill.
Yep. So, it's Xfinity. So, I mean, I guess the pit crews are kind of not as good a cup or something going on here, because we got another week of loose lugs going on. Monetary fines for the crew chiefs for the 00 of Cole Custer, the 27 of Jeb Burton, and unfortunately, the number 38 of Matt DiBarito.
Yes, sir.
Those of you that are on Reddit and follow Mr. Matt DiBenedetto, you know that his nickname is DiBarito.
Oh, Matty
that
D.
should be our next one. You know, we need a burrito.
Did you happen to hide a certain something in this week's episode?
Maybe not. I don't know. We'll have to find out.
All right. So you ready to move on to the Cup race?
I guess we could.
All right. So the South Point 400, which of course was the Cup race, was at Las Vegas. They had a big purse of $8,157,812. That's a lot of money.
I'll take it.
Of course, right? Of course, you know, your boy Chris Bell took the pole, followed closely. I care. Closely by Tyler Reddick.
We're gonna get canceled because of all the Chris Bell fans. Like, that jerk on there doesn't say.
No. It's a good balance. You know, I'm a Chris Bell fan. I know you guys can't see it, but like right over here, I know it's like right off camera, but I have 2 of his elites.
I'm also a Chris Bell fan. Whenever we stop talking about him, I'm happy. Moving to the rear, because obviously he had to switch over to a backup car. Mr. Ryan Blaney and the 12. Then stage 1 went to Mr. Tyler Reddick before he decided to do a flippity flip. And then stage 2 went to he who should not be named. Kidding, Chris Bell. Like stage 2.
If they would have had one more lap, I think this would have been a Chris Bell race.
But if they would have had one more lap, or that last caution wouldn't have come.
Facts. I was about ready to strangle Chris Bell's crew chief. I really was. Ooh, it feels like he's working against not only everybody else that he's racing on the track, but literally his team. Because every time that he gets like this close to squeaking by, his team goes and destroys it for him. It's not even, some of it's not even his fault. Like, take a look at Phoenix last year. He was in the Final Four running great. He had a good opportunity. And this dude, his team was like, oh man, the brakes are a little messed up. They should be okay. And then they blew up on him.
Well, just FYI, I saw this a post on Twitter, or X if you're a weirdo. The fact that not only does Joey Logano get to the championship for on even years, everybody knows that, but apparently last year at Las Vegas, there was a number 45 car that flipped, and Mr. Joey Logano passed a Tootsie's car to take the lead and win the race.
Yeah, somebody at NASCAR forgot to switch out the
Script.
script. So anyway, I'll cover the top 5 this time. So of course, the person who won was the 22 of Joey Logano. Probably cheated. I hope he gets a penalty. And then of course
Too
behind
light
him
of a
was
car,
Chris
maybe.
Bell. What is it?
Too light of a car.
Yeah. So right after the race, I was at work and my buddy called me. He's like, "You know who won?" I was like, "I don't want to talk to you." I said, "I'm gonna laugh when it's like Alex Bowman all over again. You know, he wins the race, and and he's like, it better not be." And I was like, "Well, he's already been caught once this year cheating, so."
Yeah. Maybe have them
Anyway,
gloves on again.
that'd be great if I could find a picture of him with the gloves on, and then NASCAR being like, "Nope, he lost his win and his playoff eligibility." So I'd be pretty happy. But anyway, as it sits right now, he won. Christopher Bell coming second, followed by Daniel Suarez and Willie B. That's Byron. And Mr. Cheater himself, Alex Bowman.
Yep.
That's your
Top
top
5
5.
finish after not being able to move on.
Yep.
So rounding out your top 10 will be the number 19 of I'm soon to be retired Martin Truex Jr. And that number 1 of Ross Chastain in 7th.
Melon
Mr.
Man.
Cucumber Cowboy coming in what is that? 8th place? Yeah. And then the number 42 of Mr. John Hunter Nemechek in 9th.
Got a
Look at that
top
legacy
10
club
finish.
in the top
Did you see
10.
where Johnson finished? I was pretty stoked to see Johnson finished at least above the 30s. So
Yeah, and it was a clean race for him.
I know, I was super happy about that.
Then
Moving on up.
Yep. Then rounding out your top 10 was RFK car number 17 of Chris Buescher.
Yes, sir. No tech issues, no one to R&D. You want to cover the notable entries?
Cam. Mr.
Go
Cody
for it.
Ware. His Evil Knievel car started in 36th and moved forward. Finished up in 21st. Almost the top 20 for him.
Right, that was such a good car. I liked that car.
Almost. Mr. SVG and his Wendy's spicy chicken car.
Spicy chicken?
Mm-hmm. Started way in the back, 34th, and squeaked by a couple spots, finishing 29th. Not exactly a good day for him. And then, as you mentioned, Mr. Jimmy Johnson and his breast cancer awareness Dollar Tree or Family Dollar was on the side. I don't remember. Whichever one was on the side, the opposite one's on the hood, so it doesn't matter. Started in 29th and moved forward a grand total of 1 spot to finish in 28th. But as we mentioned, he had a clean car and didn't wreck out. Finished the race. That was pretty nice.
Phoenix were shooting for a top 20.
Right.
All right, so you ready to talk about our rookies? We got Mr. Josh Berry, who started 28th and finished 20. You got the wrong numbers up there, homie.
Do I? Yeah, I sure do. You know what? I probably grabbed like the slides out of the last week thing that we did instead of switching over to the new one.
Yeah, that's what it looked like to me. Anyway, Josh Berry started 28th and finished 24th. Yeah, there it is.
We can fix things easily. Guys, Grella didn't start, didn't finish.
Yes, sir. Got a DNR. Did not race.
Yeah.
Zane Smith started 14th, went backwards 2 spaces, and finished 16th.
And who would normally be our rookie of the week recently started in 6th, finished way backwards, almost 20 spots, 23rd. Mr. Carson Hocevar in the 77. somehow still maintains the rookie standing to lead, though.
Sir, he's currently sitting in 21st as far as positions, with 618 points. And then, of course, you get right behind him, you've got Josh Berry, who's sitting 27th with 519 points, and that's 99 points behind Hocevar. And then, who I would give Rookie of the Week this week, just because of how they finished and started, Zane Smith is sitting 30th with 481 points. That's 137 points behind Hocevar. Of course, Kaz Gralla didn't race, so his points stayed the same.
But he did widen his gap.
He
didn't start.
Yes, sir.
So enough of that.
Boy,
Giddy up.
We have a real treat for you. I actually did my job this week, and we have a weekend winners video.
What? I didn't put it in here.
No.
I'm just kidding. I did.
I was about to say.
Welcome to Las Vegas.
Look, I even had the right one in there.
Congratulations.
Oh, man.
So, now that we got this last week's race out of the way, you ready to go? Well, not 100%, because we still got to cover RHPD Motorsport. I don't know why I always.
These are probably the wrong ones, too.
Yes.
Because Mr. Kyle Larson did not win this week.
Nope.
I thought I had switched all these over, but obviously I didn't. Good thing that you guys are cool and are okay with me watching me change it over.
The good thing is it doesn't take 400 years to change over.
Right. Got most of the pre-race, or not pre-race, but the configuration done. It's just getting the right images in there.
Right. So starting with the number 62 with Ryan Blaney. He started 37th due to his backup car changing car, whatever it is, and finished a whopping 32nd. So he went up 5 spots.
Yeah. More than we can say for most of our team.
Yeah. I think this is the worst we've done so far, period.
Yeah, it was a pretty rough week.
Yeah. But as far as Blaney's case goes, I don't really see him making it to the driver meeting specifically, just because it kind of was a team problem that caused all that. So, but Tyler Reddick in the 63 started strong, but unfortunately felt like his car needed to do somersaults, and decided to finish way back in 35th.
At least it only did one.
Oh, well. One was enough.
Yeah. One was too much, actually. Mr. Moneyman Kyle Larson started in 5th, went backwards 6 spots, finished in 11th, so almost gave us a top 10, but not quite.
Yes, sir.
I think he's the only one safe from the drivers' meeting this week.
Yes, sir.
And then our frequent flyer, Mr. Brad Keselowski, started in 17th, finished way back in 36th. So Mr. Jimmy Johnson actually beat 3 of the 4 members of our RHPD Motorsports team.
As he should have. But usually I would like him up in the top 10, so we'd have a decent,
Baby steps.
Hey, at least it wasn't 37th place with a wrecked out car.
We got 3 races left of the season. We still got one more race to see him in.
How many do you think he'll be racing next year?
I don't know. See.
I don't know, because the first year it was only 2 or 3 races. Now this year it's 9. I would like to see him at least a part.
I wonder. I think it depends on how much information they're actually getting from him. Because this season, yeah, he had 9 starts, but most of those ended up in wrecks.
Yeah, I could see that. That and like a lot of people, us included, were kind of frustrated. Well, still are kind of frustrated with Legacy. But I could see next year with them, like, because it was kind of like a transferring year, if that makes sense. Because they did go from Chevy to Toyota, and I mean, I can see where they're basically starting fresh because they don't have it like a sister team to go get numbers off of. It's not like they were knocking on Joe Gibbs' door saying, "Hey, man, can we get?" So I mean, I kind of see where the problems did lie. So hopefully this next year that goes a little better because I know John Hunter's a better driver than what's been shown. I know that Eric Jones is a better driver, and of course I know that Johnson's a better driver. I just hope that next season it shows. I mean, I think just this last race kind of gives me hope that hey, they are working and it is getting better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So baby steps, like you said.
Yep. Hopefully next year will be we'll see if at
It's
least
like-
a few top tens from both drivers.
Yeah. It's like Denny said, you can't just build a team and then expect, championships. And I mean, let's be honest, when Johnson come in and become part owner of at that point Petty GMS, he basically had to build a new team because I'm pretty sure Petty stepped out completely. I mean, he might still own some shares or something, but as far as like being a figurehead, he's gone.
Maybe. I don't know if he'd be completely gone though, because the whole reason why they went Legacy Motor Club was because of both of those guys' legacy going on, and they wanted to remember their legacy, but also provide a path for future.
Yeah, but like at the beginning of it, it was like, Petty and Johnson all the time. They were together. They did everything for Legacy, and like here recently, it doesn't even seem like you see them in the same area.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
maybe so.
And to me, just by going off of what like I've seen on X or Instagram or whatever, it seems like Petty has kind of distanced himself from Legacy. Now, I'm not saying he sold his shares or anything like that, which he himself has even said that he disagrees with some of what Johnson does, the way he runs his company. But he did say that sorry guys. But he did say that like he that team needed a new outlook. So,
Yeah.
I kind of see, the team's changed. It's been like a whole 180. I mean, they changed cars, they got a new driver, you know what I mean? It's been nuts this year, and I get why. So that's just
Anywho,
my thoughts. Sorry, I didn't mean to go off on that tangent.
it's all good. That's what this podcast is about. We got an outline, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's what we're sticking to.
Right.
Moving on to the points for our RHPD Motorsports peoples. Mr. Kyle Larson, our top driver, is no longer the leader in the points. Nobody knows who the leader is. Nobody cares.
Oh, I care.
It's
Oh boy.
Chris Bell. Oh my god.
We're gonna make it to the round of 4 for the third year in a row this year. This year's gonna be our year. For fear
I'm cool with
for
that.
fear of sounding like a Dallas fan, this year's our year. Okay.
Okay. Denny fan.
No. Denny, everybody knows he's not gonna get one.
Well, same thing about the Cowboys. Anywho's,
They got close recently. Okay.
Saints
Recently, they
definitely
got-
aren't going, so
That's fair.
we
Chiefs
lost 5 in a row. I mean, unless we win out the
Chiefs-
rest of the season somehow, we ain't
I
going.
doubt that.
Uh,
It could be worse. It could be worse. You could be a Bengals fan.
or a Falcons fan.
Well, the
I mean-
Bengals lost to the Falcons, so
Well, Kyle Larson has 4,079 points, which is only 7 points behind Mr. Chris Bell. 32 starts. If we were to have that 33rd start, it wouldn't be saying the same thing. 6 wins, 12 stage wins.
dude's a beast. He's got literally more race wins and stage wins than the other 3 drivers combined.
Right? Insane.
Just throwing that out
Not
there.
that Brad's really helping out matters any.
No, like I said, I can see in the very near future of next season Brad getting cut from RHPD Motorsports.
Actually, based on these numbers, I would say the only one we would keep be Kyle Larson. Switch out the rest of them.
Yeah, if we keep him, who knows? We might implement a rule saying we have to come up with a whole new team.
Nobody knows. It's a new
Nobody
experience.
If you want to know, be sure to tune in when that video comes up.
Yeah. Moving. Well, we'll have to make that RHPD Motorsports team like, I don't know, a week or two before the actual season starts. Yeah. We don't get that cheap this year.
Right.
Yeah.
But anyway.
6th place, Tyler Reddick.
Yep.
4,041 points, which is 45 points behind Chris Bell on 33 starts with 2 wins and now 5 stage wins.
Yes, sir. And then right behind him in our number 62 car, we've got Ryan Blaney, who is currently sitting in 7th with 4,024 points. That's 62 points behind the leader, which is Chris Bell. 33 starts, 2 race wins, and 4 stage wins.
Yeah.
Then we got our bad Brad Keselowski, who's currently sitting 14th with 2,127 points. That's 1,959 behind Chris Bell, with 33 starts, 1 race win, and no stage wins. So dude's kind of throwing us down. So, but
yep.
This next part is my absolute favorite part of the entire podcast. If you guys have seen this podcast before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. This is where we cover, a certain driver who has stood out in a way that no other driver can. And that is, this driver has went the longest period without any wins. And that driver is Corey LaJoie, with 269 starts with 0 wins. He has yet to have a win in any of the series, that is Trucks, Xfinity, or Cup. So just be on the lookout for that, because if he does get a win, it will be a sad day in RHPD podcast history, because then we will not be able to say Corey LaJoie sucks this bad.
Yeah. We'll have to start talking about Ryan Preece. He's the next one in line with 185 starts. So a big old gap there.
Yeah, but at least he doesn't drive like a half-deranged idiot. So.
Well, next year he doesn't drive anything yet.
That is true.
But
I'm sure he'll
neither
find
does
a ride.
Corey LaJoie.
I could see Preece finding a ride before LaJoie, but
yeah,
that's just me.
Yeah.
Anyway, you ready to move on to our playoff prediction?
Well, everybody on our list has moved up a tick except for Kaz Gralla because he did not race.
No, well, I didn't think about that one.
All right.
That's right.
So, playoff prediction update. So we do have somebody that locked themselves in this week.
We do.
Mr. Logano. So,
and I don't think either one of us picked him.
Not for our round of 8 picks, no.
Yeah, that's what
I'm ready for this cough to go away.
Dude, my allergy is kicking my butt today, so sorry if my throat gives out or whatever today.
Yeah, sorry that I'm blowing your eardrums out if you have a headphone in your ears or something. But I took your suggestion last week and restructured how we're covering these. So,
oh yeah, you can actually.
These are the current 8 drivers that are locked in on the screen here that are part of the playoffs right now. Obviously, only one of those has made it forward so far. But we'll start with our preseason picks. These are our preseason picks. Damn. Stop coughing. So, these are all of our original picks that we picked before the season started.
Yes, sir.
So,
And
out
we
of
had
all these
some-
drivers that we picked for the round of 16, we both dropped down to 11 that made it into the round of 16 from those preseason picks.
Yes, sir.
Then our preseason picks moving on to the round of 12. Mr. Dally pulled ahead by 1.
Right, I did.
Only had 9 move forward. He had 10. And put him up by 1. But moving on to the round of 8. We're dead even again, baby. But overall, I didn't put the champ 4 on there yet because we don't have all 4 of them locked in, but we're tied at 1 of 4 because we both did technically have Logano selected on our preseason pick. So, overall,
Sir.
if you count all the rounds and tally up the correct picks, then you're ahead by 1. Whoop-de-doo.
So I got 1 point.
Yeah.
Just for my preseason picks.
Now, these are the drivers that we picked that were locked into the round of 16 that we thought would move on
Move to
throughout the rest of the season. So,
Yep.
moving on to the round of 12. We were tied at 10 picks apiece. We both got eliminated with the same 2 drivers at that time around. And we each had 2 different drivers that caught us up to tie each other out. And then moving on to the round of 8. We were dead even again. 8 picks. Moving on to the round of 8. And it just so happens that they're all the same driver there, so
Yep. So
we'll probably tie out on that one because we both picked Logano. He's already moved on. So, our round of 16 picks, we are tied, sir.
Yes, sir.
And we will remain tied on that one no matter what the outcome turns out to be.
Yes,
we got all the
And
same
in our
drivers left.
round, going into the round of 8, we picked our drivers.
Well, you got to go to the round of 12 picks first.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. So the round of 12 picks, we picked a couple different ones. So starting at the round of 12, when they moved on to the round of 8, I pulled ahead by 1 because I picked Suarez, who did end up not making it into the round of 8, and Voodoo picked Briscoe and Bowman, who ended up not.
Yeah, you picked
then-
Mr. Joey Logano, which technically didn't make it until my pick of Alex Bowman got disqualified. So,
Yes, sir. So it was going to be flip-flopped, but it ended up in my favor.
he pulled ahead by 1 there. And then
What is it?
obviously, Championship 4, you would be ahead by 1 because I did not pick Logano at this stage.
Sir, so as of right now, just for our round of 12 picks, I'm 2 ahead. But overall, I'm 3 ahead if you count all of our picks up to
Yeah.
this point.
And our Championship 4 picks, we are
Yes,
tied
sir.
at 0 moving forward because neither one of us picked Logano.
But overall, the picks, I'm still ahead by 3.
Yeah, I got a lot of catching up to do.
I'll take it.
It's possible, though. It's very possible for me to catch up.
And you might be asking, what do we get if we win? Bragging rights, 100%.
Correct. What I think sucks, though, if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to go back to our preseason picks real quick. Just to look at who's left in our preseason picks.
Let's see. We
So
got
all the same drivers there. So
Yeah.
I can't pull ahead of you there. I can't pull ahead of you on the round of 16 picks.
the only way you're going to pull ahead of me is in the round of 4.
Yeah, because we got all of the same drivers here for the round of 16.
Yep.
The round of 12. Yeah. You're gonna be ahead no matter. Well, not necessarily.
Unless I make some really
you're gonna
bad
be ahead no
picks.
matter what, because all the rest of my drivers you have left, so can't catch up with you there.
Yeah, unless I make some terrible picks.
So at most, I can only gain 2 on you.
Oh yeah, so I've got bragging rights for sure.
Yeah.
Dang it, man.
At least you can win
I
at
forgot.
something.
Right? That's about the only thing I can win at.
Goodness gracious. I don't like this. I'm taking this segment out.
Well, you ready to jump over to trackside trends? Sorry.
Apparently, it's not going to work for me. So,
Oh, that's fine.
I got to manually do it. Oh, you know what? We're on the wrong screen.
I was about to say, it looks like we're on the wrong screen. Hey.
Amazing what happens when you do it the right way.
Right? So we got some updates from NASCAR. NASCAR intrigued by a street course that would have San Diego Bay as a backdrop.
Trying to bring racing back to. Is that technically Southern California? Oh.
Yeah, San Diego's California-Mexico border.
Yeah, pretty far south, I'd say then.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that though. I mean, if you look at the thumbnail for this podcast, the picture of San Diego Bay, I almost said San Francisco Bay.
Now that would be a race.
Yeah. Also might fall off into the ocean. But anyways, looks like a pretty visual, but I don't know. I guess I'd have to see the layout. Determination of how I would feel about it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing a street course on the schedule every year, but they need to rotate locations.
I agree. I don't know why I'm yawning so much. I'm sorry, guys. I agree. I liked Chicago. Don't get me wrong. But if you just keep using it over and over and over again, people are going to get bored of it, and that kind of takes the magic away from it. I think it'd be cool if they did like the streets of New York, like if they closed down like around Central Park or something like that. You know what I mean?
Winter Circle will be right in the middle of Times Square.
That would be cool. Victory Lane, they put the car in the middle of Times Square.
Yeah.
They did it in the 90s. There's a picture of Jeff Gordon and Dale Earnhardt in the middle of Times Square. I want to say like 98, something like that.
I'm sure they could make it happen.
Oh yeah. I mean, even like if they took like, trying to think of good roads or good towns that they could do like that are iconic. I mean, they got Chicago. They've
Detroit.
got they could do Detroit. They could do. Well, they might not want to do Detroit. I'd hate to have to get bullet holes out of the car.
Well, I mean, they did Chicago. Chicago's supposedly worse than Detroit.
That's fair. But just do different events like that. Like, I wouldn't be mad if they did Tulsa, Oklahoma. Just saying. Seattle would be a good one.
New Orleans.
Like just do like a tour of the country, They could do one in Washington. Like DC.
Anywho. Moving forward to the next bit of interesting news. NASCAR and Formula One are planning to share the same engine computer architecture starting in 2026. McLaren Applied Technologies recently released a new variant of its Tag Series ECUs, with the Tag 510 planned for NASCAR and the Tag 700 planned for F1.
So does this mean they're going to get more horsepower?
I doubt it, but probably just 510 horsepower and the other one 700 horsepower.
Well, it's better than like what is it they got now?
Don't they only have 500 right now?
They might. I don't know. I thought it was like 300 and something.
I don't know.
Can we go back? Can we go back to when it had like 780 horsepower?
Right? Seeing some cars hitting about 250.
All right.
Really doing some
Well,
rolls.
I get safety reasons why they don't do it, but they should just let loose, okay? One race. Because I'm sure there's enough NASCAR drivers that are crazy enough to do it right now. Like Denny's been talking about it since they governed it.
Maybe it'd scare some of these little youngins away too.
Kind of like never mind.
Harry LaJoy.
I was gonna say the Silver Spoon Prince over there. That's gonna be apparently owning a car, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Anyway, talking about some charter negotiation updates. In its filing response to 23XI or Front Row Motor, hopes to be hopes for expedited discovery. NASCAR states that it has taken steps to plan for a season with only 32 charters. Which, if you don't know, that means they're going to cut their charters out.
That's what it sounds like. 32 charters next season. Which just means there's going to be more open cars getting into the race.
Yeah, but I mean, let's be honest. I don't see 23XI not making the race very often. I mean, they
That
have
or
good
front
drivers.
row. Have you seen front rows
Yeah.
qualifying recently? And they're always at least making one of the cars in the top 10, it seems like.
I know, so I don't think they really have that much to worry about, to be honest.
Now, the biggest thing about this is that with it only being 32 charters, they were rearranging that money that they were divvying out to all the charter teams to where those 32 charter teams will get more of a cut of the purse now than they would have with 36 charters. So the teams that signed the deal are going to get a better deal of the deal that was signed or not signed by those two teams.
Well, not necessarily. If they've already signed and their contract's locked in, NASCAR will just get a better deal.
Well, I'm saying with only 32 charters that they're paying out that extra money to instead of 36.
Yeah, but do you think NASCAR is really going to divvy up between them or pocket it? Because I could see NASCAR just pocketing it.
I mean, that's what they said they were doing. But saying and doing are two different things.
Look at it this way: they signed a contract for X amount of dollars, for them to get that much. So for NASCAR would be in its legal rights to be like, no, I'm sorry, you signed it. What you signed for? This is mine.
Yeah, but they could also do it just to stick it to those two teams.
Agreed. But that all kind of depends on how their court case goes.
Yep.
So, I mean, I hate to say it, but I hope 23XI and Front Row didn't just dig their own grave.
Yeah.
So, but moving on.
Gotta wait to see what this lawsuit's gonna bring out.
Yeah. Anywho, we got some team changes. Let's see here. Colleague has parted ways with crew chief Travis Mack, effective last Wednesday. Darian Grubb worked with SVG in the 16 at Las Vegas. So
they haven't announced who's gonna permanently replace him in the 16 yet, but
yeah, Darian just filled in for this last race.
We'll see who's on that list for the 16 this week.
Yes, sir. And that's about all for this year. Now we have a couple for next year.
Yeah. So a couple of driver announcements for the Xfinity Series next season. JGR itself made 2 announcements. The first one being Mr. William Sawalik. Will be racing in the number 18 next season, but he'll be making his debut in the Xfinity Series this weekend at Homestead in the 19. Get to see him on track in some JGR equipment. His sponsor for next season will be Starkey as the primary sponsor, which is a some form of hearing services or something like that that's owned by his grandfather. Money, money, money.
Company.
We'll see how that one works.
Speaking of Silver Spoon brats, in the number 54 for Xfinity, Taylor Gray will be racing, but the owner is Ty Gibbs. He's been listed as the owner for 2025 for the number 54.
Yeah. So Mr. Ty Gibbs not only got a cup ride handed to him, but now he gets to make money off of an Xfinity ride that was handed to him.
Grandpa, I want a race car too.
Here you go, city boy. Moving on.
If you're a Ty Gibbs fan, I'm sorry that you have such bad choice in drivers.
Right, yeah. DGM Racing. They got a new driver for 2025, Mr. Ryan Ellis. We're making the move over to them. They did not announce a car number, but I'll see.
Sure. Moving on to some Toyota news. Toyota teams to race under Toyota Gazoo Racing North America banner to align with Toyota racing programs worldwide.
Yeah. So this isn't really changing anything on our end. It's just when they go to thank all their lovely gajillion sponsors, instead of saying, "Oh, thank you Toyota Racing," they'll be, "Thank you Toyota Gazoo Racing."
Gotta go as fast as Xfinity Internet.
Yeah, well, that's potentially going away too. So we'll see. Speaking of JGR, not really, since we kind of left them alone, but stayed on the Toyota trend. JGR has a new official partner in the Campbell Soup Company. So I don't know if it's on the Xfinity side or the Cup side, but we may see some Campbell's branded paint schemes. Be interesting. But that deal also includes some other teams partnerships between Campbell's and the Washington Commanders, the Sixers of the National Basketball Association, and the New Jersey Devils. So
Yes, because all those teams are somehow incorporated in with Campbell's Soup.
what? Maybe we'll see a bunch of noodles shaped like their logos.
Maybe. Can you imagine getting Anthony Alfredo in a Campbell's car?
That would be amazing. He doesn't race for them though, does he?
Didn't he step in for the 20? I swore he stepped in
Maybe
for one of their cars.
on the Xfinity side, maybe so.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Huh.
That would be cool. Fast pasta
fun.
in a Campbell soup car. Chicken noodle soup.
Right.
Chicken noodle soup. Chicken noodle soup. Oh, sorry.
I think they also own doesn't Campbell's own Prego too, or is that crap?
I don't think that they're the same company.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I was
Not
thinking,
100% on that though.
own like Prego or like some pasta sauce. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would be hilarious.
Would be quite funny.
Almost as good as Cole Custard.
Well, I'm pretty sure that Andy's Custard is gonna have to sponsor him at least once or twice in the Cup Series, right?
I hope
Just
so.
because they did the Cole Custard thing.
Top tier. You cannot lie. That scheme was not top tier because it was.
I'd give it a 4 lug. But anywho.
Sir, you need to get your lug nuts checked because that's at least a 5 lug. It's a good scheme. And if you could quit dying of your allergies, that'd be great.
I'm trying, but it's not working out too well. I think it's because I'm talking too much.
Probably. Let's move on to Race Day Horizon.
Goodness gracious, trying to go back in time, huh?
I guess I was. So, we got the truck, Xfinity, and Cup for this week, which is kind of surprising considering the truck has been off for like 2 weeks. It feels like. So Friday at 2:35 p.m. the truck practice and qualifying, and at 4:05 p.m. of course these are Eastern times. The Xfinity practice and qualifying, all on the NBC Sports app.
Yes, sir. Moving on to Saturday, 9:05 a.m. Eastern Time. Is your Cup practice and qualifying on the NBC Sports app. And then at noon, you got your truck race, the Baptist Health 200 on FS1. First and second stage are both 30 laps. The final stage is 74 laps for a grand total of 134 laps around Homestead. And then at 3:30 p.m., you got your Xfinity pre-race on the CW. And then at 4 o'clock p.m., your Xfinity race is the Credit One NASCAR Amex Credit Card 300. Say that three times fast. Also on the CW.
Amex Credit Card is 300.
It was only once. Anyways, first and second stage are both 45 laps. Third stage is 110 laps for a grand total of not 200 laps, but 200 and... Yeah, that is 200 laps. I was about to say 210. My math's dumb.
Good job. I would like to know who the heck is responsible for naming these races. Because here recently, I feel like a lot of them have been just like keep dragging on.
250.
Like you can't just call it like Homestead 300 for Xfinity. Brought to you by Credit One. You know what I mean? And then throw like commercials for Credit One during the race.
Credit One.
Anyway,
300.
Right. Anyway, moving on to
Sunday.
Hang on, baby Jesus, this is gonna get bumpy.
I don't know why there was a pause in between that. That was kind of weird. Anyway, starting at 2 o'clock p.m., the Cup pre-race starts, and at 2:30 the Cup race starts. The Straight Talk Wireless 400. See how hard was that? Straight Talk Wireless 400. Done. That's all you need, right there. Boom. Cut it off. The first stage is 80 laps. The second stage is 85, and the last is a odd 102, making a total of 267 laps. So, and that'll be on NBC. I don't know if I said that or not. So, you think the Cucumber Cowboys going to win?
That's possible. Yeah. So, new little bit of graphics that I decided to add in this week was putting the schedule up there to where y'all can see it.
I noticed that. It looks really good. Again, guys, sorry if I keep looking this way. My monitors are over here, and of course my camera's where you guys are. So if I just keep like glancing over or just like staring hardcore over here, it's because I'm trying to see my monitor.
Well, if you noticed, I flipped your camera to where when you are looking that way, it just looks like you're looking at me.
Your mic cut out, homie.
You tripping, homie.
Well, anyway, we got some notable entries for Sunday's race at Homestead. Got the number 15, our part-timer Kaz Gralla. And then, of course, the Dinger's back in the number 16. JJ Yaley's going to try his hand at Homestead in the number 44. And the number 66 of Chad Fitchum is going to be there.
New driver in the 66.
Yes, sir.
Got some new sponsors and or schemes. So the first few are some new sponsors that we don't exactly have schemes for yet. That'll be only 5 of them. We don't have schemes for quite yet. We'll pay attention for this week's scheme scene, even though we didn't do one last week because I was sick as crap. Which obviously you can tell I'm not fully recovered yet, but
I'm glad that we decided to postpone that because, like, literally, when I got home that day, I passed out. I was done. I got sick as well. So sorry, guys, that you missed the scheme scene, but
we did release the paint scheme video still. But
yeah, we are people. We get sick, so sometimes we get sick or busy. So sometimes, like shows might be a different, it might be a Tuesday instead of a Monday or whatever. But we'll be sure to let you know usually beforehand.
So starting off for your Homestead new sponsors, be the number 4 of Josh Berry, which technically he's already had a Panini scheme, but this is a Panini Prism scheme, so I'm expecting it to be different than his last scheme.
I'm expecting a lot of foil as far as like
I would hope so, because with that name, you could do some wonders.
Yeah, with it being a prism, it should be like,
like a Lido Scream, but
yeah,
with sparkly bits coming back at you.
Sparkles.
Sparkly!
Anyway, the number 45 of Tyler Reddick has a new scheme. I'm assuming it's a monster scheme because it's the Beast Killer Sunrise.
Yeah, I think it's a different flavor.
Yeah. Hopefully it's not just a black car with a monster logo that's like, oh, it's the Beast.
We shall see.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in the 47 obviously is sponsored by Kroger, but this time will be in addition to vitamin water.
Yes, sir. And then right behind him, we've got the 77 of Carson Hocevar in a Ziegler Auto Group low jack car.
And our last sponsor without a scheme that we could show you, Mr. 99 of Daniel Suarez in the freewayfranchise.com scheme.
Freeway franchise. Or freeway. I don't know why I want to say freeway. Freeway franchise. So, moving on to one of the schemes that we can show you is the number 16 of AJ Allmendinger and his Worldwide Express. It looks like a normal...
I don't know, I kind of like it with the white.
I mean, it doesn't look bad.
I think it's the better of the Worldwide Express schemes that we've seen. Bless you.
Oh, thank you. I agree on that one. It is one of the better ones. Ugh.
All right, Mr. Bubbles. Bubba Wallace Jr. Sponsored by McDonald's. But this is going to be a 50 years of Ronald McDonald House Charities.
Is he going to dress up like the clown that he is?
Got some kid-drawn stuff on the car. Seems to be the thing to do this season.
Yeah, but I like cars like this that like kids get to make because you know how much that would make my like whole year if like my drawing ended up on a car.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. It looks pretty good. I like the look of it. I would own the diecast. My wife sees it. I will own the diecast if Lionel can actually produce anything.
So I guess we need to move on to the next one real quick before she sees it, huh?
Yep, let's go.
Your turn.
It is the number 66 of Chad Fitchum running a Greenlight Performance Products car. Oh, I like this car. It's got a weird vibe to it that I just like. I can't explain it. It looks awesome.
Yeah. Different than what we usually see from the 66. Usually it's just like an all-white car.
Yep. I like it.
But that's it for the Homestead schemes. But moving on to 2025, RFK has put out. Huh?
Are you ready? Are you ready to be surprised?
Yeah, a little bit.
Let's see.
Chris Buescher in his Fast and All scheme for next season.
Wow, it looks almost like this year's Fast and All, but a little bit better. I like it.
Looks pretty cool, I would say.
I like the foil numbers. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
But, yep, I like it. It's definitely better than this year's Fast and All. Probably because I'm just tired of seeing this year's Fast and All.
Right.
But anyway, so who you got picked to win Homestead?
I will tell you here in just a minute.
What are you going to tell me here?
I haven't done my research for this.
I think man, I'm gonna
Although
say
Chris
something
Bell is
about-
usually pretty good at Homestead.
That's what I was gonna say. I think Chris Bell's gonna lock himself into the 4 this year or this race.
I can see him doing it, or I could see Mr.
Cucumber?
William Byron.
Okay, I was about to say I could see Cucumber doing it.
Do you know who I
hope
don't
not.
see winning it?
Corey LaJoy.
Well, yeah, that's a given. Actually, let me see what Corey LaJoy's average finish is here. Better than I would have thought. 26.3.
Oh.
Highest finish of 20th place.
Watch him blow us out of the water and win it.
Anthony Alfredo only started once and has a better finishing position than him.
Oof. But yeah, I was gonna say Chris Bell.
I'm gonna go with Willie B.
I'm gonna go Willie B, huh? Well, I would say if you want to make your picks and hopefully win a diecast, you could have joined our fantasy league. But I strongly doubt that in 3 races you will have enough points to beat Trash Can. Because so far he's winning.
Right.
But if you want to join and get ready for next season with us, we would be more than happy to have you. And what you do in order to get in that is go to NASCAR.com, hit the fantasy button on there, and then find the Raise Hail, that's HALE, Praisedale podcast. And it has to say podcast or it's not ours. And there's a password to get in. It's all lowercase RHPD2024. You can get in for next season, and we will do another competition like we did this season, where whoever wins gets a 164 diecast from Lionel Shop. Of your choice, we will either send you the money for it, or we will order it and then send it to you. But anyway, now we can move on to our Slick Scheme Spotlight, or the way we refer to it as SQ, brought to you by Happy Hour Racing.
Oh, I didn't do it like it was supposed to. That's okay.
Anyway, Happy Hour Racing is your number 1 shop for NASCAR merch and F1 merch. So if you want to stop in there, be sure to use code RHPD to support the channel. It doesn't cost you anything extra if you use that code. We just get a little bit off the top when you order. I've ordered from there, I think I ordered twice. I don't know. I ordered too much NASCAR stuff to. But anyway, it got here really quick. At first I thought it was just gonna be like used shirts or something, but it wasn't. Still had NASCAR tags on it. Everything was super nice. I enjoyed my purchase. I will probably be purchasing there even more. Because they got some pretty cool designs. But speaking of merch, before we jump through this, or do you want to just cover this one and then go back into it? I was gonna say we do have merch open on our store, which the link is below. If you liked our Cucumber Cowboy sticker that was around there, yep, right by Voodoo's head. We also have one. I think it's on the store, isn't it? Is Fast Pasta up yet?
Fast Pasta is up. Yeah.
Yeah. So we got another one. That, of course, Cucumber Cowboy is Denny Hamlin. Of course, we can't use his likeness because I don't want to pay a lot in royalties. But I do have a sticker of this and a water bottle, and I think it's hilarious. My goal in life is to get Denny Hamlin to sign this. So that's my goal for the next time we go to a race, or find somewhere that Denny is signing. Gonna have to find one. So, but we also have Fast Pasta, which of course is Anthony Alfredo. And then we're working on some other ones. I think our next one is Maddie B.
Yeah,
Or,
burrito.
Yeah, I can't even say it. So it's going to be a burrito that resembles, or at least tries to resemble, the Benedetto. And then we talked once about doing RHPD Motorsports merch, and then of course we've got our normal RHPD logo stuff on there. So if you guys want to go check that out, plus if you're there, you might as well look at Voodoo's merch. He's got some pretty cool stuff going on, so be sure to look at that one. And we will say whatever you purchase there, as long as it's podcast related, goes right back into the podcast. We're working on getting Voodoo a stream deck, so it makes doing all this a lot easier for you guys, because the easier it is for us to do it, I think the more seamless it is. So we don't get all the mess ups of just different things where we're hitting the wrong button or whatever. Because I know in the past I've hit the Sunday thing too early or whatever. So, but anyway, it goes back into the podcast. That, and it also allows us to do more giveaways and do just cooler stuff for you guys. So be sure to check that out. So, you ready to jump into S Cubed?
Yeah, I got the classic scheme this time around. No coincidence that I picked Willie B to win at Homestead, but I went with a Willie B scheme at Homestead.
It is a nice scheme. 10 out of
Now this one isn't from too back in the past. It's only from 2019. But originally, this scheme was supposed to be run at Daytona. But the car got wrecked by our favorite driver of RHPD Motorsports, Mr. Brad Keselowski. So that Willie B had to go to a backup car for the actual race, which obviously did not have the wrap on it. Started ninth. Oh, well, switched it to where they ran the scheme again at Homestead so you could actually see it on track, where he started ninth and unfortunately finished in 39th because of an engine issue on lap 215 of 267. So almost made it to the end, but didn't quite. Hopefully he won't fare the same issues this time around.
He had like 52 laps left. In the last 50 laps, that would suck. But it is a nice scheme. I do like the scheme. Bless you.
I keep muting my mic for the stream so they don't have to hear me coughing my lungs out.
I thought that was a sneeze. My bad. I don't know. I think Willie B's schemes, you can definitely tell Gordon owns that car because he kind of brings his schemes into it.
Yeah.
And the ones that aren't really representative of Gordon kind of blow, like the Raptor one. I don't really care for the Raptor one. I feel like they could do so much more to the Raptor car than just a green car with like a couple black accents.
I agree for sure.
Like you could put like claw marks down the side of it and stuff. This, I know you guys, if you're watching multiple times, you've probably heard the spiel 100 times, and I'm gonna give it one more time. It is a vinyl wrap. You can literally put pictures of anything you want on that. So, I mean, they could literally put like scratch marks where it looks like a raptor like clawed its way through, teeth on it. They could do all kinds of stuff. But they choose just to make a lime green car with black accents. I hate. Anyway, I have the scheme from last night, last night's race. And I chose the Cody Ware Evil Knievel car just because it's an Evil Knievel car. How cool is this car? Now, this is not the way that I would have done the scheme. I just mainly chose it because it's very different from what usually gets ran. It has the patriotic aspect because of Evil Knievel. It's got him on the side. I just don't like how bland this car is. I feel like they could have done so much more, but it is what it is. It looks nice. It's executed well. He started 36th and finished 21st, so not even a bad car. He almost made it to the top 20, but it is what it is. I would own this car as far as like diecast. I would buy this one just because of how different it is. You know what I mean?
Well, if you look closely, that little strip of blue with the red lines on the side of it and the stars down the middle of it, isn't that what was actually on Evil Knievel's suit?
Yeah, yes, but the way I would have done it is like if you've ever seen like any of Evil Knievel's cars or stuff, they were mainly white with that strip up them, but then they'd have like gold lines and stuff going out and kind of like a pinstriping. That's kind of what I expected. I mean, I get that they didn't want like just a white car going around, but I mean, I feel like just a blue front kind of throws it off for me, and then there's like a random white strip by the number that goes all the way up. I don't like if you were gonna do a blue front, do a blue front. You know what I mean? It feels like that it just doesn't mash well,
Man,
if that makes sense. So like, I don't know. And then like maybe like where the front of the car is, where the big number one is, I'd make him ramping like something. You know what I mean? Just just different small things that I would change on it if it was me.
Yeah.
But it
overall,
doesn't
not a
look
bad
bad.
scheme though.
I like it. I mean, if I was rating it, I know we didn't get to rate it, but if I was rating it, I'd probably give it a 4 lug, but maybe closer to a 3. I don't know.
We can rate it.
But anyway, that's just my take on the car. I liked it because it was different. It stood out on the track to me. So, anywho, I think it's your turn for the
Dying one more
outro.
time. Before we cut out of here, you 85%ers that are watching our stream and are not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Hit that like
sir.
button. Throw some comments down below, something or another. Get us pushed out to some other people's. We would greatly appreciate it. Last time I checked, we were at 71.
I think I didn't check before the show like I usually do. Let's see here. We are at 71. But our views are up and our watch time is up. So we got that going for us.
Working our way up to 100 subscribers.
Yes, sir. So if you guys would like to be a part of that 100 subscribers, you be sure to hit the subscribe button. Jump into our Discord. We usually, if you jump in and just say hey, we'll definitely hit back on you. We'd love to see that really kind of taken off. We had a couple people in there for a little bit, and then it kind of died out again. So let's see if we can keep it rolling. Just a place we can talk about NASCAR. The only thing we ask is, keep it PG because we don't want some, fighting or whatever, profanity. Now, if you want to make like a meme about Corey LaJoy, not winning or whatever, and post it in there, that's perfectly fine. Just try to keep it PG. But on that note, if you're joining our Discord, you might as well go ahead and follow our Instagram and our Twitter. We post on there semi-regularly. Here pretty soon, I think we talked, especially during the off season, we're going to cover some of the classic races, and that might be a Discord only kind of thing.
Yep.
So if you guys want to get updated on that, go ahead and of course, jump into the Discord to follow those pages, our Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok.
We may speaking of the Discord, we may host a watch party for the championship race in Discord too.
What is it? 3 weeks away?
Yep.
So
3 more weeks.
Okay. Yeah, I was worried that I'd have to work, honestly. That's kind of my thought process.
Well, it would have been 4 if you didn't count this past weekend.
Well, I mean, like, starting from this next weekend. Like, at we got Homestead.
Martinsville,
and then
Phoenix.
Yeah, okay. So I was sorry, I was trying to count if I was working the weekend or not. So, if you guys want to jump into the Discord, we'll host a watch party there. And we can just kind of talk about the race. That, and who knows, there might be some special content that, especially during the off season, that we will be posting in the Discord. So, that, and it gives you a chance for you guys to jump in and kind of talk with us. If if you're in there enough and we kind of get a feel for the way that you feel, we might have you on the show. So, I mean, it kind of depends. I think we got plenty of room to build there. So jump into that Discord. Go like our pages. Spread the podcast. If anybody that likes NASCAR or maybe doesn't really even know what NASCAR is, we'd love to stick around and teach them as we learn. Because I don't know about you, Voodoo, but this season I have learned so much about the fundamentals of NASCAR just by having to cover like the information, like things that I didn't even really know. You know what I mean? Like I like watching NASCAR, and I was like, okay, I'll do a podcast. And then like this year, Voodoo kind of took it and ran with it, which I'm super grateful for because it kind of opened my eyes to everything that NASCAR, like all the team news is and all the drama and all that.
Definitely, probably a lot more that we both need to learn.
Right? Yeah. So
maybe that's what we could focus on the off season is like drilling down into the rule book, or we already did technically a point system breakdown, but we could do some other stuff too, kind of break down some 101 style stuff for new viewers.
That and like kind of maybe cover some history of NASCAR. Like I don't think the episodes will be as long as it is in season, but I feel like we've got enough stuff between the 76 years that NASCAR has been running that we could cover something. You know what I mean? And I mean, even if we got a league going or something just for RHPD, I mean, maybe we could host events like that, if that makes sense.
Interesting.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Praisdale Racing League.
I mean, not even like a necessarily like serious league where we, keep track. We just meet up and race every now and then. That's kind of what I was thinking. But anyway,
could be fun on Wreckfest.
That's kind of the game that I was thinking of. Have like demolition nights and or who knows, when the new iRacing comes out, we might be able to throw something together next season.
Yeah, that's not for another year though. So
yeah.
Anywho's, spread the love. Show us to your friends.
Buy our merch, please.
With that being said, we're crossing the finish line of another Race Hell Praisdale episode. Until next time, may your tracks be clear and your victories many. Good night, race fans.